Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm joined by Iris Titru, CEO of VVT Med. So it's an exciting healthcare company heading towards promising future. So we're gonna dive into what the company does, why this solution matters, size of market opportunity, why investors should keep an eye, and what they should keep an eye over the next 12 to 18 months. So first and foremost, how are you doing, Iris?
Doing just fine, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now we can start to dive in. And let's go with the basics to give everyone some context. So could you tell us what your company does?
Our company solve a huge problem of varicose veins, which is bulging veins in the legs. A lot of people think it has to do with aesthetics only, although aesthetic is very important as part of this problem, but the bigger problem is that it's a chronic disease and also a progressive disease, which means if you don't treat this problem, it gets worsened with time. And it's really, really important to solve this problem when it's still small. And it's a very, very big market. More than 40 million people in the US suffer from symptomatic varicose veins. However, only 2% of those 40 million actually gets treated. So it's a very, very big underserved market. And there is a very, very good appetite for new products that help the patient undergo the procedure without any pain, without hospitalization, and other issues that are right now concerning them.
Okay, so uh, I would ask now, so basically, could you tell us what your flagship product and compared to traditional vein treatments, how it's a different approach? And so, yeah, basically that.
So in some parts of the world, there are still performing surgeries to remove those veins, and that's very painful and requires hospitalization and prolonged recovery. In later years, less invasive technologies were introduced to the market, usually using thermal energy, which still requires anesthesia in order to perform the procedure. And a lot of patients are still afraid of the pain involved in these procedures and complications associated with high temperature applied into their veins, because it can also potentially cause a nerve damage due to thermal injury. So we are now offering a procedure which is completely painless. There is no thermal energy involved. We are basically using what's called a chemical ablation, which means we are treating the vein with a drug and with a very, very unique delivery system that we have developed in order to treat the vein without causing any pain and very, very reduced trauma. So the procedure is very, very streamlined, very simple to perform without any need of anesthesia or any need of hospitalization. The patient can do the procedure and after that just go back to whatever he was doing, working, jogging, swimming, whatever he likes. And that's our big advantage.
Okay, thank you. And so let's move from, the tech to the business side. So at the moment right now, so what is the company's commercialization status?
We have both the European approval, which is CE mark for our two product platform, ScleroSafe and VBlock. We also have regulatory approvals in other countries like in Brazil, India, South Korea, Australia, and other regions as well. But one of the most important messages that we have is that we have secured FDA approval for the ScleroSafe system, and now we also have FDA for. We also have the opportunity to offer it to the U.S. patients, and the next phase would be to also get FDA approval for the VBlock system. So both our systems are fully commercialized, and we are selling our devices across the world. Our main focus is really to initiate sales in the US right now.
Okay, so that's actually like quite good stuff. And if we talk now about like revenue, so could you tell us how does the company actually make money?
The revenue model is based on partnerships with local distributors in each country because we value a lot the knowledge and the relationships that local distributors and professional teams built over the years. And we believe they have the tools to succeed better than if the company will open its own direct sales force. So the way we build our model is that the local distributor is basically in charge of all the regulatory approvals, all the sales and marketing initiatives, and we, the company, support with all that we have to offer on the backstage. But really, the distributor is in the front, and he's really doing a lot of the local efforts. And this is how we basically conduct our business in different parts of the world.
Okay, got it. And so, in terms of the broader opportunity, so you actually mentioned it at the beginning of this interview, but could you tell us again, like how big is this market, its growth?
It's a very, very unique market. Studies show that approximately 50% of all aged 50 and above will suffer from varicose vein at one severity or another during their lifetime. Of course, females are more in chances to get it because they're going through labors, which adds to the chances. But also genetics has a strong part in this as well. So this problem, together with other diseases or comorbidities like obesity, which is a huge, huge problem globally, contributes to this problem. And the rise in life expectancy also contributes to that problem because we see more people in later age, the elderly population, suffering from these conditions. So basically, this market is ever growing. And because it's really determined more and more on genetics and life expectancy going up and comorbidities like obesity, this market is really, really big. Studies show that approximately 45% of the entire population is affected by this disease. And this is basically, a huge, huge market to tap into.
Okay, yeah, it looks like super exciting. And basically, in this market, I bet that you're not alone. So, if we talk competition for a moment, who else is playing in this space?
So if we take the U.S. market as a benchmark, the main competitors are companies like Medtronic, Boston Scientific, and Becton Dickinson. All of them acquired companies that came into the U.S. and it didn't took much time, then they acquired them. Maybe also right now is a good time to mention that our company is currently the only standalone company offering these kind of treatments, which are non-thermal and doesn't require anesthesia in the US market. We're the only ones with FDA. All the ones that came before us were acquired by one of those companies that I mentioned. And they're doing well because the market is booming. There is room for more companies. And some of the technologies that these big companies acquired with time becomes less attractive, and the need for new technologies, especially those like we offer, which does not require any hospitalization or any prolonged post-procedure treatment, are very, very attractive to the medical community. And this is why we see a very, very good future to our company.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for this insight. And now looking ahead, so if we talk short-term future, so what would you say, what catalyst should investors watch? Let's say for over the next year to year and a half.
We believe that the major catalysts would be expanding into the US market by receiving the approvals that we need in order to get reimbursement in the US. One of the best catalysts we have till now is that we got society's endorsement, the medical society's endorsement in our procedure. And now we're working with the regulators to approve those endorsements into actual endorsement to use this procedure under existing what's called CPT codes. And that will be a huge catalyst. Also in other regions of the world, getting the same process of reimbursement in South Korea and getting approvals in some other countries that we have already regulatory approvals in will be a huge catalyst to really boost the company's growth. And also the other part of it is to introduce our second product, which is fully commercial in Europe, to also introduce it into the US. And that will really increase the value of the company and its offering to US patients.
Okay, thank you. So basically we talk just short term, but what about the long-term vision? So could you like provide some insight about it? Like let's say we were saying like well like a year and a half, let's say 5 to 10 years as an example.
Well, it's a strong belief of me that just based on the dynamics in this market and the recent acquisitions that were happening over the last decade by the same players that I mentioned earlier, we're building the company to be very, very successful and very, very big and independent. We have very good margins on our devices that we sell. We do believe that sometime down the line, one of the big companies will be interested in some sort of a collaboration with us. So we believe that's up next for us. But gaining more and more traction and increase our penetration in different markets and basically signaling to the world that we have now really a gold standard when it comes to some indications of treating vein incompetency. And this is what we are basically targeting all the strategy that we're working on.
Okay, thank you. So we heard about the business side, commercialization. So we saw the whole technology, but I would like to know more about yourself as well. So could you tell us your background, how you ended up into the healthcare sector?
I got by chance to the healthcare sector. I don't have any doctors, in my family, my close family at least. Just by chance, after serving as a lieutenant in the military, I went out to the public markets and see what kind of opportunities I have, and I got a job offering at a medical device company. It looks really interesting, and I fell in love. And because what I fell in love most is the purpose that you get up every day with a purpose to help people to feel better, to have better quality of life. And this is what I've done and progressed with several companies. One of the biggest companies I was really proud to work with were J&J, Johnson and Johnson. I worked there for several years in different capacities and growing responsibilities. And after that, I decided to really take all the experience that I gained and help small startups that had great ideas, great markets, and to really help them commercialize the products and get the global footprint that they need. And that's really what I'm most enthusiastic about. So the sense of purpose of getting up every morning and know that we want to help people and make them feel healthier and have better quality of life, and also work in an exciting market that is ever growing and also a lot of money to be made in this market.
Yeah, so definitely lots of great values in that company. And so we heard about you. And could you mention some people of the board or like some people that help the company to move forwards?
Well, I'm very proud of the board that we have. One of our board, which is also the chairman of the board, he's an ex-fighter pilot. And we have some very, very good investors that originally invested in the company when it was very small, even before it became public. And one of our investors that I really look up to sold his company to Medtronic for over $1 billion US. And so he has a lot of experience and knowledge on how to navigate those kind of huge deals. So very, very proud of the board of directors that we have. And also, I must say that I'm very, very happy and honored to have on our medical advisory board some of the biggest names in the vein industry. All of them has lots of years of experience, and they contributed a lot to this field and to developing it. And they are all very, very keen on helping the company grow because they see the value of what we're trying to introduce to the market.
Well, that's definitely great. So I actually wanted to ask another question. So it was more like a financial standpoint. So for those who follow the company closely, so what should they know about your capital requirements?
What they should know is that we're expanding, and because of that, we need more capital to fuel the company. We are now working on raising more money because we expect a huge growth in 2026. And for that, we are also raising money. The capital requirements would be somewhere around 5 to 6 million Canadian dollars, and that will fuel our sales and marketing initiatives. Also, it will fuel our next generation of products to be introduced into the market, and also expand our clinical evidence and data to support more and more indications and claims around different markets.
Okay, thank you. So I got another question. So still about like sort of finance, but more about like if investors are looking for the company. So could you tell us where it is listed, the ticker, the company?
Yeah, it's listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the TSXv, and our symbol is VVTM. And this is where you can find us. Look for us online.
And if they got some questions, so where they can get these answers, so who can they reach out to?
We have our IR consultants, i3 Capital. We can provide the details on the screen. And also talk directly for more of clinical questions or professional questions. They can talk to our marketing manager in the company, Orly, and we can have her details also displayed here on the screen as well.
Okay, thank you. So it's about like to be the end of our interview, but before we end, if you had like something else to say about the company, something like exciting or something that investors or like our viewers need to remember about the company, what would it be?
I think that we are a diamond in the rough. We are really a company that de-risked this deal to a lot of its investors because we are already at commercialization. We went through all the design phase, the R&D, and regulatory approvals, and now we are ready, to really boost the company up. I think joining now to the company right where before we are really exploding and showing a lot of growth, this is really probably the best point of time to join as an investor to the company.
Well, Erez, thank you for taking the time to walk us through VVTMed's vision and progress. It was very exciting to see how the technology and roadmap are shaping up. So, and for our viewers, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next interview.
Thank you very much.